Samsung has made it quite simple to choose the right Galaxy S23 model for you. If you want the S Pen, then you should go with the Ultra model, and if you don't use an S Pen, then the Galaxy S23 Plus model is both cheaper and considerably lighter weight. You won't get a 10x optical zoom camera on the S23 Plus, but still has the 3x zoom camera, and it's also got the same processor, same charging speeds, and not a marginally smaller battery. And for those who prefer a smaller phone, the Galaxy S23 is the obvious choice. As we have already mentioned, all Galaxy S23 Ultra models, regardless of the market, will have the same Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip, which is great news for consumers. The Exynos chip used before was not as power efficient, and it even affected image quality, so that will no longer be a problem on the new model. The Galaxy S23 Ultra retains the sharp corners of its predecessors, but it now has flatter sides like an iPhone, so it kind of brings the best of both worlds. It still uses a slightly curved screen, and the Samsung has made some other minor touch-ups. The power and volume buttons are now a bit larger and a bit lower for easier reach, and the cameras on the back are marginally bigger. It's still a glass and metal sandwich, but it uses Corning new Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on the back, which should fare better in case of a drop, and the mid frame is still aluminium. Samsung hasn't changed the IP68 water and dust protection rating, but that's already as good as it gets. As for the Galaxy S23 Ultra colors, we have the following: Phantom Black, Cotton Flower, Mystic Black, Botanic Green. Samsung is offering a few exclusive colorways on its website too. Last but definitely not least, the S23 Ultra still comes with an S Pen. It looks like and feels just like before, and we haven't heard of any new features either, which just shows once again how massive this product is. Samsung is the market leader in display technology, so it's no surprise that the screen on the S23 Ultra looks exquisite. But again, so did the one on the S22 Ultra. The main advantage here is just the size. It's a massive 6.8-inch screen with a wider aspect ratio and bigger screen real estate than most other phones, which makes it more comfortable for media consumption. But the essentials haven't changed from last year. You still have 750 nits peak brightness and the same 1440p resolution, and the same LTPO technology for variable refresh rate that goes from 1 Hz to 120 Hz. In terms of biometrics, the S23 Ultra again sticks with the familiar Qualcomm-made ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, which has proven to be fast and quite reliable. The phone also supports image-based face recognition with the front cameras. There is one notable difference in the S23 Ultra quad camera and a few smaller improvements, but overall it's not a vastly different camera system. After 3 years of using a 108 megapixel sensor for the main camera, Samsung is making the jump to an impressive new 200 megapixel sensor. 200 megapixels sounds crazy, and it is, but the reason you should be impressed is not because of the detail alone. In fact, most people might never actually use the full resolution, and by default Samsung uses pixel binning, and by combining 16 pixels into one super pixel, you still get 12 megapixel photos by default. But thanks to that pixel binding trick, Samsung is able to clear out noise and deliver outstanding night shots. Enthusiasts also finally get the Expert RAW mode barked right into camera app. Expert RAW on the S23 Ultra is more powerful than the regular Pro mode because it not gives you manual camera controls, but also allows you to shoot RAW files with multi-frame exposures. New this year is a 50 megapixel RAW file option, which won't take up as much space as a 200 megapixel file, but which still provides a lot more detail than the default 12 megapixel shot. Despite the drop from a 40 megapixel selfie camera to a 12 megapixel shooter, we don't see a massive drop in quality. The image processing has actually improved in many cases. The S23 Ultra has 5000 mAh battery, same size as last year, but battery life has improved even with this same battery. The new S23 Ultra gets up to 27 hours of video playback, which is 30% longer than the S22 Ultra, and while measuring audio playback time, Samsung estimates the S23 Ultra to last 99 hours, 22% longer than the last year's model. And those coming from an Exynos model will notice an even bigger improvement. Our independent tests confirm that the S23 Ultra lasts longer than its predecessor. On our latest web browsing test, the S23 Ultra scored a massive improvement over the previous model and is almost on par with the iPhone 14 Pro Max. While playing back videos on YouTube, the new Galaxy improves over its predecessor but is slightly behind the Pixel 7 Pro and most notable the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Finally, for gaming, it's only bested by the iPhone. These are very encouraging results and we are happy to see Samsung bring this kind of improvements even with the same battery size. It really shows how big of a difference with the processor and software play in the equation. One area left without improvement, however, is charging. The Galaxy S23 Ultra supports 45-watt charging with a cable same as before. Also, just like in previous years, you don't get a charger in the box, only a cable. This is pretty fine, but considering how other companies support double the speeds, they are a bit of a letdown. The S23 Ultra will still take more than an hour to charge fully, while those other rivals can now achieve that in less than half an hour or even quicker. Also remember that for those 45-watt speeds, you need to pair Samsung's 45-watt charger with a special 5 ampere USB-C cable. The S23 Ultra also supports wireless charging at up to 10-watt speeds and it will be able to reverse wireless charge other device when you place them on its back. In the US and most Western countries, the Galaxy S23 Ultra will face competition from two big players. The arch rival is of course Apple's iPhone 14 Pro Max. The iPhone comes with industry-leading battery life which the Galaxy will find hard to match, plus it has iOS and the whole wide Apple ecosystem. However, it lacks the zoom capabilities, the openness and multitasking of Android and the S Pen. Another worthy option is the Google Pixel 7 Pro, a phone with a clean Android build, faster updates than the Galaxy, and clever Google AI features built in, but one that would not match the Ultra in terms of performance, zoom quality, video quality, and S Pen. There are quite a few other flagship phones that will compete with the Galaxy, but the one worth mentioning the most is probably the OnePlus 11, which stands out with a lighter and more manageable physical size, the same Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 firepower, much faster charging, and an improved Hasselblad branded camera. At the end of the day, the Galaxy S23 Ultra is a step in the right direction for Samsung. It's not a giant leap, but it improves in all the key areas with a more capable camera and impressive new chip that will finally come to all customers and double the storage. These are things everyone will appreciate. All the rest of the minor tweaks are welcome additions, even if far less impactful. 8K video is still not something many users would actually use. The improvements in video stabilization are again nice, but not a game changer. The Galaxy S23 Ultra in many ways feel like an S version. We doubt those who currently own an S22 Ultra will find much reason to upgrade, but those coming from older phones and particularly those who are annoyed by a slower Exynos processor will love this new model. It keeps the power and versatility of a Note and there is really nothing quite like it on the market.